Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. Today we're going to be doing some practice and some tuning on this new build of this S13. If you saw my last video, you would have seen that I finally got into a round of SSR, which was really fun. I really had a good time, even though I had to stay up till it was about 5 o'clock in the morning running the competitions. I was awake for about 24 hours straight. But it was well worth it because I took out first place overall, which scored me a ESDA license. Now unfortunately I wasn't able to qualify in time for this upcoming round, but it gives me a good chance to get used to the build specs of the ESDA spec cars. So I built this one up running the 2800 pounds with a 275 rear tyre width on it, and obviously ESDA is restricted to sport tyres only, which is a little bit different for me because normally I tend to stick to stock or street compound tyres, which is why I was really intrigued with the SSR competition because they're on street tyres. But I've built this thing up. I've done a quick couple of runs up and down here, and it's actually feeling really good. I can't remember how much power I'm running. I think it's about 750 horsepower. Again, there's no power limit restrictions in ESDA. You're just limited to no R-class, so whatever grip and weight you run, you can basically run as much power as you want until you're maxed out in S-class. So we've got about 750 horsepower. Off onto the grass. But we're still running sim steering and full 900 because why not? But yeah, this car is feeling really good so far. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the tune that I've just literally slapped on there. And I didn't test drive, did I? No, I didn't. So I can't show you the tune. Give me 1 second. Test drive. Okay. So tyre pressures 26.5 psi in the front and 16.8 in the rear. I generally tend to try and drop the rear tyre pressure down quite a bit because in the mid-drift, when the tyres are really like smoking up, they're going to get a lot higher pressure in them. And I'm going to have a look at the telemetry while we do that in a minute, just to make sure I'm not running them too low. Gearing, I'm only using a sport gearbox, so I can only tune the final drive. I've just left that stock for the moment. Cam settings, I'm running -4 on the front and conservative -1 on the rear. Try and get it to grip up a little bit. No tow settings, and I've pretty much just left this as the default 5 caster and 60 steering lock. Anti-roll bars I haven't touched yet. Springs I haven't touched yet. Dampening, all I've done is just dropped the rear bump stiffness slightly to get it to squat a little bit. Now I am running the rear wing, so I just decided to max that out. I don't think it really does much when you're drifting anyway. Differential, I'm running 100% XL and 35% decel. Now I've started on most of my cars running reasonably low decel because I found on sim steering, especially with throttle control, you can be a lot more aggressive coming off the throttle without the car snapping around too much. So I've found this is actually working really well for me. So let's go at it again. So I've got a 275 on the rear, and I believe I'm running either 235s or 245s on the front. Oops, push it wide again. Oh, I'm really driving like a spastic at the moment. Alright, so we're going to try and run the ESDA section here. Ooh, really revved a bit hard then. So we'll start just here, do a 50 roll until I think it's the end of this slip road, just here. Gun it, and then we initiate at the start of that rumble strip. Outside touch and go, inside line through here. Another inside line. Then touch and go on the white line there. And that's it. So the car's feeling pretty solid. I've held some pretty big angles through that long left-hander when you're coming down the hill. But this thing just, it feels really good, and I was a little bit surprised because I've kind of had a phobia of drifting S-Class cars. Like, most of my drift cars are either D, C, B or A at maximum. So this is a bit more power than normal, it's a bit more grip. So I think it's fast, I don't know, I won't know for sure until I can get some practice in with some other drivers, which hopefully will be soon. Yeah, fingers crossed I'll be able to do okay. In ESDA. So there's that almost full lock I was talking about. It's probably a little bit slow in the mid corner when I do that, but it's manageable. As we come down to a stop. But yeah, the car's feeling really solid. The force feedback, I'm still just using the normal settings in the EMU force feedback that I would use. Still on sim steering. And obviously full 900. And I could probably do this one-handed still. Reasonably comfortable. Now I chose the S13. I was going to try some different cars. I was looking at the Datsun 510, the 71 GTR Skyline, but unfortunately most of the older cars that I wanted to try are all banned from ESDA, so I wasn't not able to use those. So I just went to a car I knew I'd be semi-comfortable in. Shallow on the exit there. Right, yeah, so let's check this telemetry of our tyre pressures. So rear pressure is just coming down to about 22 psi. Let's light them up and see what it does. I think ideally we should be aiming for around about, I'm not too sure, around 30 psi. I don't even know what the optimum temp is for the tyres. But, oh well, we might just bump that tyre pressure up a smidge, I think. It might be a little bit too low there. I'll bump it up to about, let's try about 18.5. But yeah, I don't really feel like there's much I need to change with the tune, because it just feels solid already. Gearing I could probably mess with a little bit, so I can find some good initiations. But in the ESDA, if you watch my last video, you see I was doing some really flicky sort of entries, which is really fun, and it's oh yes, I'd like to apply that. It's really fun, and it's the way I really enjoy to drive. I don't know if that sort of driving is going to fly in the ESDA events. I'm hoping it does, because I don't know, I have this kind of opinion in the back of my head that it's supposedly a pro level competition, but you're restricted to doing, if you are restricted, what's considered beginner level initiation techniques, which I've always found a little bit funny. Hold full up. Let's just finish the. So yeah, I was having a lot of fun doing those flicks. It was a little bit hard to do with some drivers wanting to try and initiate right on your door. I really didn't like it too much when they did that. A few of the drivers got the hint earlier on in the practice session and just followed me in. And if you follow from behind when I do that, it's actually a lot easier to get straight up onto the door, into the tandem. And it also allows me to do the flick that way I want to when I'm not sort of boxed in by another car. But it's still a lot of fun. These tyres, one thing I've noticed, the sport tyres do wear out a lot faster than everything else. So let's see if we can do the flicky entry here. So we are in sim. Big entry, a little bit shallow. Oh, those tyres are roasting. Right out to that outside line. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised with the car. I thought it was going to be horrible to drive on Sim Steering 900. But it's actually turned out to be really, really nice. We'll do one more run on these tyres. Oh, it's just so smooth on the angle. Transitions nicely, it doesn't snap, and you know, I can just let the wheel rotate even on sim steering, which is just awesome. Let's try this again. That inside clip, outside touch and go, on the rumble strip, just about. Oh, it's decent. A little bit under angle. It was a reasonably good run. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying the ESDA drift events. It should be a lot of fun and be really good to test my skills against some of the best in the business, so to speak. God damn, this thing is just a monster right now. A little bit shallow. But man, we had full lock through the sweeper. Tyres are just about dead. Let's check the wear. We're at 50% wear on the rear. So they're slippery. Slippery means bigger flicks. Bigger angle. Oh, we weren't going to pull out of that. It's actually quite fun on torqued tyres. Whoops. Steering gets a bit heavy with one hand when you're trying to hold specific angles. Big flicks. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Yes! Oh, so satisfying. Just power it out. Use the grass. Use the curbs. Use the runoff. Use the sand. We use whatever we want. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this little video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!